A grandfather once stopped a boy's spiral of doubt with a single object from his desk. Leo felt lost. He did well in school, but a quiet anxiety had taken root in his mind. How do I truly become someone, he'd think? What does a meaningful life even look like? With each passing day, he withdrew further, until his grandfather noticed the growing silence. It was a silence that spoke louder than any shout, a hollow echo in rooms that once held Leo's laughter. One evening, as sunlight slanted through the study window, painting long golden stripes on the worn Persian rug, his grandfather gestured him over. The old man sat in his leather armchair, a book face down on his lap, his eyes holding a patience that seemed as deep and steady as an ancient redwood. "Leo," he said softly, the single word a warm blanket in the cool room, "you carry the weight of the world on shoulders not yet meant for such a load. Tell me what's troubling you." Leo sighed, a sound that seemed to carry the fatigue of months. He dragged a footstool closer and sat, his young frame slumping. "Everyone talks about greatness and success," he began, his eyes fixed on a knot in the wooden floor. "My teachers, my friends, even the videos I watch online. It's always change the world, build an empire, leave a legacy. But I don't know which version of me I'm supposed to be. The smart one, the kind one, the ambitious one. They all feel like costumes and none of them fit right. I feel like I'm failing before I've even begun." His grandfather didn't answer immediately. He let the confession hang in the dusty, sunlit air between them, giving it the respect it deserved. Instead, he reached slowly for the simple wooden pencil that always lay beside his ledger, holding it gently between his thumb and forefinger, a bridge across the gap of years and experience. "This," he began, his voice taking on a storyteller's rhythm, "holds 5 secrets for a life well lived. Not secrets of wealth or fame, but of substance. Secrets most people overlook because they're busy looking at the flashier things, the computers, the screens, the noise." "A pencil?" Leo asked, skeptical, his brow furrowing. He'd expected a complex philosophy, a cryptic quote from some thick book, not this mundane yellow and pink school supply. "Yes," his grandfather affirmed, a knowing smile touching his lips. "A pencil. Now listen. The first secret is about surrender." He held the pencil upright. "See? On its own, it is inert. Its power to create, to communicate, to express only flows when it is held. It must surrender its autonomy to the hand that guides it. We too must allow ourselves to be guided. This is not a loss of control, but an act of profound wisdom. We are guided by mentors who see our potential before we do, by the love of family that steadies us, by the wisdom in books and in nature that is greater than our own limited perspective. There is no weakness in this. A ship needs a rudder, an arrow needs a bow. Your life needs direction from sources outside your own swirling thoughts." He paused, letting the idea settle. Outside, a bird sang a brief, clear note. "The second secret," he continued, picking up a small metal sharpener from the desk, "is about embracing friction." He carefully inserted the pencil's end into the sharpener and began to turn it. The sound was gritty, grating. To stay useful, to stay sharp, it must be ground down. The process is uncomfortable. It removes part of itself. It hurts, yet this is essential. Without it, the point grows dull. The lines it writes become blurred and ineffective. He pulled out the pencil, now ending in a perfect conical point. "Growth, my boy, often comes dressed as hardship. Life will grind you down, through disappointment, through loss, through challenges that feel insurmountable. But each grind is stripping away what is soft, what is unnecessary, only to reveal a finer, stronger point beneath. The pain is not punishment, it is preparation." Leo was quiet now, his skepticism melting into contemplation. He watched his grandfather's hands, weathered and sure. "Third," the old man continued, turning the pencil to reveal the pink eraser crowned on its end. "It carries a built-in mechanism for forgiveness. It acknowledges right from the start that mistakes are part of the process. You will write the wrong word. You will sketch the wrong line. We are meant to make errors. They are the tuition we pay for the education of experience." He tapped the eraser lightly on the desk. "The goal isn't a flawless, untouched page. That is the page of someone who was too afraid to begin. The goal is the courage to see the error, to accept it, and to gently, without rage at yourself, correct your course. A life lived trying to be perfect is a life spent erasing so much you wear a hole in the paper. A life lived with the grace of the eraser is a life that is always moving forward, always learning." Leo nodded slowly. This made sense. It was a relief, this permission to be imperfect. "Fourth," his grandfather said, his tone deepening, becoming more solemn. And this is the most crucial one. Its true value, its entire reason for being, isn't in the painted yellow wood you see, or the shiny metal ferrule that holds the eraser. The value is in here, he said, tapping the very tip of the lead. In the core within. The outside is just packaging, a casing to protect what's important and to make it easier to hold. Character is your unseen lead. Everything else, your looks, your possessions, your quick wit, that's the painted wood. It might be pretty, but it's not what does the work. What does the work is your integrity, your compassion, your resilience, your quiet determination. This is your true substance. People will judge the paint, but life tests the lead. Is it strong? Does it hold under pressure? Or does it crumble and break? The room felt still, charged with the weight of the lesson. Leo's own heart felt like that core of lead being examined. And the final secret? Leo whispered, now leaning so far forward he was nearly off the stool, his voice hushed as if in a sacred space. His grandfather met his gaze, his old eyes bright. Wherever it touches, it leaves a trace. A line on paper, a note in a margin, a sketch on a napkin. It cannot interact with the world without leaving evidence of its presence. He leaned in closer. Your life, Leo, will be measured by the marks you leave on other souls. Not on resumes or bank statements, but on human hearts. A word of encouragement when someone is breaking, that's a mark. An act of patience with a frustrated stranger? That's a mark. Choosing honesty when a lie is easier? That's a mark. The quiet dignity of doing your job well, of being a loyal friend, of caring for those who have no one else. These are the lines you draw in the world. Make them kind, make them clear, make them matter. In the end, you won't be asked how long your pencil was or how fancy its paint. You'll be asked to see the story you wrote with it. A profound silence settled, thick and warm like honey. It wasn't an empty silence, but a full one, buzzing with new understanding. Leo's eyes cleared, the frantic, scattered search within him finally stilling as if a flock of startled birds had landed at once. The tension drained from his shoulders. He wasn't broken. He was being prepared, like the pencil being sharpened. The pressure he felt wasn't to be the best in the world, a lonely, competitive summit. The calling was to be the best for the world, a humble, useful tool in a grand, beautiful, ongoing story. He took a deep, shuddering breath, the first full breath he felt he'd taken in months. I understand now, Leo said, his voice firm yet laced with a newfound gentleness. It's not about the title you earn or the trophy on the shelf. It's about the story you write with your character. The quality of your lead. It's about being held by good things and being sharpened by hard things, and never being too proud to erase a mistake. His grandfather nodded, a world of pride and love shining in his dampening gaze. He placed the pencil gently into Leo's open palm and closed the boy's fingers around it. Remember, he whispered, the simplest tools often hold the deepest truths. We overlook them because we're searching for something more complicated. The question is, will you carry this one? Will you let its simple truths write on your heart? Leo looked down at the pencil in his hand. It was no longer just a piece of wood and graphite. It was a compass, a mirror, a promise. It was light, but its weight was immense. He carried that feeling with him out of the study, out of the house, and into the weeks and months that followed. The anxiety didn't vanish overnight, but it lost its power. It became a whisper, not a scream. When he felt lost, he would remember the 5 secrets. He began to seek guidance, asking his history teacher thoughtful questions, really listening to his parents' stories. He started to view challenges differently. A difficult project wasn't a threat to his worth, it was the sharpener, grinding him to a finer point. He became less afraid of small failures, seeing them as chances to use the eraser, to learn and to try again with more knowledge. He paid more attention to his core. Was he acting with integrity even when no one was watching? Was he choosing compassion over being right? This inner work became his focus far more than curating his external image, and he started to think about his marks. He helped a younger student who was struggling with his backpack. He thanked the school bus driver by name. He wrote a heartfelt note to his grandmother. Small, simple lines, but lines with intention. Years later, as a young man facing a significant crossroads, a choice between a lucrative job that felt hollow and a modest path that aligned with his values, Leo found himself standing before his old grandfather's desk. The man was gone now, but his presence lingered in the worn leather of the chair, the smell of old paper, and in a small wooden box left for him. Inside, on a bed of velvet, lay a single sharpened pencil and a folded note in his grandfather's elegant script. It read, "For the next chapter. The lead is strong, the hand is yours. Leave a beautiful mark. Tears welled in Leo's eyes, not of sadness, but of profound connection. The lesson had come full circle. It was never about the pencil itself. It was about the timeless truths it represented. Truths of surrender, growth, forgiveness, inner substance, and legacy. Truths passed from one generation to the next. Not through grand lectures, but through simple objects and quieter moments. Truths that could turn a spiral of doubt into a straight, purposeful line forward. He picked up the pencil. It felt familiar in his hand. It felt like coming home. He knew which path to choose. He knew the kind of story he wanted to write. If this story shifted something in you, please like this video. It helps My Stories TV share more wisdom with those who need it.